Sunday, June 14, 2014. Starting this week from the very north end of the field, this is the chard that we cut last week, and the bed that was extra that we didn't cut. These are some of the onions. I'm going to walk right straight through. Those were the Cornell onions, nicely weeded. We have some weeding to do here in these onions, though it's not as big a job it would be if we didn't have them on black plastic. Down into tomatoes, which are, even in the field, are looking really good. I need to prune them, and then we'll start weaving them. The eggplants are looking good. Peppers are still really small, but I can see that they have put on another set of leaves. And the celeriac, and then we had 3 SUNY students out yesterday planting over 1,000 sweet potato plants. They are suffering from the transplant, but they will come back. I had hoped they would, as wet as I had it, and most of them had some little roots, that they would not be this sad about it. I've got a leak there. Boy, do I have a leak there. The lettuce, yes, the black-seeded Simpson is bolting on us. We have 1, 2, 3, down there 4 of partial, 4, 5 beds of lettuce and another partial. We're going to have head lettuce. We have the panisse. There's the winter density. Concept, a little head lettuce, a little Purat, some new red fire. Probably Nancy, a nice head lettuce. Let's see. Yeah, I'll probably need to take it because it'll be beyond you for next week. There's some of the black-seeded Simpson that bolted on us. Some more of the panisse, or that's an oak leaf. More of the black-seeded Simpson. I really had high hopes for that. There's some more Purat, some more new red fire, some more winter density, but we will have lots of good head lettuce this week. Then I'm going to walk across the potatoes. You can't tell it from here, but I can actually see rows where they're coming up. Squash is very interesting. I just sprayed Pyganic for cucumber beetles. I went ahead, I hate to do it, and I put it off. When you actually get in walking the rows, you can see why it is so critical. But these are squash plants, and they're not looking bad. And then all of a sudden we get to here. And these are some of the Tigress zucchini that I like. And for some reason, they really liked those zucchini plants. And then we get to the end and we come to a yellow squash, and they don't like it as well. Okay, I'm going to cut off and go down to the broccoli. Okay, I'm down in the cabbage and broccoli area. And again, this was the change in rotation and plan. In previous years, I sort of started with early plants and just went in a sequence, keeping some family rotation in there somewhat, but more a matter of what did we have to get to when and what was available, what land was available. And this year I've got 7 distinct blocks based on family. So, okay, I planted a bunch of broccoli and cabbage down here, and then don't need to do that for 3 weeks, so I really haven't paid that much attention to it. And the flea beetles are in. Napa cabbage I love to do, but we had transplanted some Napa and some pak choi, and I meant to get in and cover it, and I didn't. I have been disappointed with how the broccoli has been growing, and you can see actually why, because it has so much flea beetle damage. So, while I had the Pyganic in for cucumber beetles, I went ahead and sprayed down here. I'm not going to take, well, yeah, I can lift it. The broccoli that is underneath the row cover, yes, it's a week or 2 older, but you can see the difference that it makes. And there's broccoli that's under the row cover. It has some damage, but it has had more warmth. It's been protected from wind. Probably more uniform moisture, simply because it doesn't evaporate or dry out as much under the black plastic. For flea beetles, we have 3 things, row cover. And if you're set up to do a lot of things, row cover works. Or if you set up, just do a teeny tiny bit, it works. But in between, it's a real pain. So you can use row cover. We can use spinozad, which is an extract from the soil actinomycetes. It's a broad spectrum, which means it kills lots of bugs, which is good for us in that we have it to use, but it's not good because it can kill beneficials, so I really try to minimize it. And for flea beetles, then we can use the pyganic. On cucumber beetles, the only thing is organic that we can use is pyganic. With these two chemicals, the beetles have to actually either be contacted or eat it, and it's very short residual. It doesn't last in the environment, so we're basically getting what we get, and what we miss, we miss. So they're not great, but they do knock it down some. I'm going to go, I think that's probably it for down here. Oh yes, I wanted to show you on the zucchini and squash. Last week a few of you got baby squash and maybe squash blossoms. Squash plants have male and female blossoms. The female blossoms are attached to the fruit. The male is not. Well, the female came out early before the male, so there's no pollen to pollinate with these with, so they're just going to shrivel up and shrink. So I will be harvesting baby zucchini squash blossoms for you. Unfortunately, cucumber beetles really love squash blossoms.